What an absolute power pack show today. We got a smoke show goon. We have a new favorite to win the NFL's Super Bowl. What else we got here? Oh, Stanley still remains with a tan down in Florida. 4 cups out of 6 years. Think about that. Last night, the Panthers closed the shop up. They get it done 5-1 versus the Oilers, 4-2 in that series. Back-to-back, it is now 4 championships in 6 years have come out of the state of Florida. Yeah, that's getting it done. Now, they're getting an opportunity to go a three-peat. I think the last team to do that was the Detroit Red Wings. They ended up doing that last night. Indiana versus the Connecticut Sun, and I got a new Sophie Cunningham. Hey, man, she is the new Charles Oakley. And that's exactly what the Fever need. I'm watching Chicks basketball last night, and I have no interest in the WNBA finals. Excuse me, NBA finals, I should say. I have more interest in watching Caitlin Clark play, dropping 20 last night, getting knocked the hell out. By the way, this ain't rookie hazing anymore. Those chicks hate her. And it's a great thing. Sell it. Villains. It's the best thing on the planet. The WNBA has never had anybody like this. Sports has never had anything like this, especially on the women's side. They've never had anything like it. Dude, the last person that had this kind of impact on the sport, I mean, Serena Williams. Serena Williams moved the needle in tennis. This chick is great, and it's great for TV. I mean, I'm digging this. By the way, we have a special guest today. Soon to be WWE champion, Bill Goldberg is going to be joining the program. That's going to be at 3:30. How you doing? Don't ever say we don't bring you the biggest guest in the country. We bring them all to you. So Goldberg, who was just on Monday Night Raw, will be on this program at 3:30. We're looking forward to Bill. We've known each other a long time. I've been telling you how much we know one another. So we're going to get Bill Goldberg on. That'll be at 3:30. Hit the like button, just like Kyle here. All super chats go to the top. I'd rather watch cornhole tournaments than the NBA. Me too. By the way, I want to ask a question right out of the gate. I heard a conversation with Xander and John and their guest, and I talked about it this morning as well. How many people in here believe in rehabilitation? You do your debt to society, and you get a chance to go out in the world and right your wrong. How many people believe in it? Truly believe in it? How many people believe that? I'm going to give you a story here in a second of another friend of mine. How many people believe in rehabilitation? So Henry Ruggs, everyone, if you don't know the story, Henry Ruggs was a former first-round pick by the Raiders. He apologized yesterday to the family of a woman he killed nearly 4 years ago. He's been in prison for doing that dastardly deed. He was sentenced, I think, August, sometime in 23, to 3 years to 10 years in a federal penitentiary. He got a release to go and speak to the Hope for Prisoners. It's an event that was being held in Vegas, and he was remorse. You can hear it. And he gets an opportunity. I don't know how old he is. 4 years, I'm assuming he's got to be near 27, 28 years old now. I think he went to school with Devontae Smith, right, at Alabama. Okay? How many people think that guy should get another opportunity to restart his life? I do. I do. I think he should have a chance to start his life again. Why not? So either you believe in rehabilitation or you don't. You should just shoot him in the head. For his crime, you should shoot him in the head for the mistake he made. It's one or the other. Either you believe in rehabilitation or you don't. Still, somebody died. I get it. Nobody's looking at it any other way than that there was a loss of life. That's why he's in the can. I get it. I mean, either shoot him in the head or give him an opportunity to better his life and others may be around him. Which is it? Ask yourself that. Okay? He didn't shoot anyone. Okay? He made a stupid mistake, which cost somebody their life, in which he's going to do time for it. Okay? Let me give you a story about Ray Rice. You guys remember the story on Ray Rice? Okay? Why not bring him to Philly, city of second chances? Sure. That'd be about right around the time you're getting rid of AJ. Why not? See if he's got anything in the tank. I would. So let me give you a story about Ray Rice. Everyone, if you haven't seen the video of Ray Rice smacking the shit out of his then girlfriend, it's appalling. Absolutely appalling and unacceptable. Unacceptable. Do you know what Ray Rice is today? He's a senior consultant for the Baltimore Ravens, and he works in the organization. Steve Biscotti asked him numerous times, do you want to come back and play? Remember the video? It ruined his career. Do you know what Ray Rice said? He was asked 3 or 4 times, do you want to come back and try to play? Ray Rice said this, nah, I got to be a better man, and I've got to work on my relationship with my girlfriend, soon-to-be wife. And I've got to be a better man than doing that because that's something that's not acceptable. And for me to be put in that light, it's not acceptable. Well, 25 years later, they've got 3 kids, and he's worked on being a better man. He goes around speaking to rookies in rookie symposiums around the country saying one bad mistake could be a life-altering thing to you. Always know where you are in the room and what your actions are going to mean. That's a guy who's making an impact in life. You never see him publicly. You know how many times Fox has asked to interview him on his life and his journey? And he refuses. You know why? His family's more important to him than having his name out in the public. That one horrific moment in his life. This guy was one of the best community guys in Baltimore. But because he made that one mistake in his life, and thank God his girlfriend, now wife, forgave him. And they've had a 25-year marriage. They've got 3 kids. They both go around about domestic violence. And Ray Rice is a community advocate. That's called rehabilitation. Now, there's some people that are just complete assholes that never get it. And you know that. But if you believe in anybody who gets an opportunity at second chance. Now, look, I'm not talking about people who go into Newtown Little School and kill all those kids. I'm not talking. That's where you take a guy out back, tie him to a tree, and shoot that guy in the head. Okay? People make tragic mistakes. The same. Now, look, Jalen Carter's deal is not on the same level, obviously. But Jalen Carter in that car, when that person from the Georgia program died, he's accountable too. You don't think he thinks about that? Choices that you make in life will reflect and will be collateral damage in how people will perceive you. Dude, when you've got so much to lose, why? Ask yourself that. Why would I put myself in that position? And when you do make mistakes like that, okay, when you make it, you've got to write it. Look at Michael Vick. I'll give you this. I love Michael Vick and I hate Michael Vick. I do. I love and hate Michael Vick. I hate what he did to animals. In our house, we are gigantic animal people. Nobody in the world is going to hurt our animal. We love, you guys hear little Stevie. Okay? Nobody touches our animals. We are animal people. But I'll tell you one thing I do love about Michael Vick. Michael Vick goes around. He's a member of PETA. He goes, and you know what he's doing now? He's the head football coach at Norfolk State. He's now making an impact on people's lives. He goes around and he's contrite on the stupid stuff that he did when he was younger. God forbid if I'm gauged on everything I did when I was young. It was some of the stupidest shit on the planet. And believe me, if some of you knew, you would be shocked. Some of the decisions that I made, I regret big time. But hey, I try not to walk over that bridge again. So when you see a guy like Henry Ruggs, did he kill someone? Yeah. Has he been in prison? Yeah. Was it reckless drive? Yes, all of that. When he gets out, he should have a chance to restart his life. Or you don't believe in rehabilitation. You can't say you believe in rehabilitation and when the guy gets out, not give him a job or a chance to better his life. That's not rehabilitation. That's talking out of both sides of your mouth. Either you do or you don't. If you want to shoot him in the head, fine. If you want to give him a chance and you believe in rehabilitation, then give him a shot at life. Maybe he makes an impact on another kid's life to make sure that that kid doesn't have an opportunity to do the reckless shit he did. It's either one or the other. You can't do this. Let me tell you what a lot of the stupid-ass people in the world do this. They say this, like, there's a ton of minorities that are unjustly in prisons, right? Okay. Well, when you let them out, you don't give them a fucking job. How is that rehabilitation? When someone comes out of prison and you don't give them a chance because they got a record, how are you going to better your life? I mean, it makes no sense. 90% of you really don't believe in rehabilitation and second chances. Paying the pipers, going to jail. Sills, it's no difference when Chris Carter was cut due to him being a drug addict in Philly, and Minnesota gave him a chance. Thank you for the super. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Seth Joyner all went to Buddy Ryan and said Chris Carter is killing himself being a cokehead. That is a fact. Chris Carter was a cokehead. Buddy called him in his office. Jerome told me the story. I'm going to save your life, son. And he cut him. He cut Chris Carter. I'm going to save your life. You know what he did when he cut him? He called Dennis Green. Said, when this kid gets out of rehab, this will be someone to take a look at. So Dennis Green, former Minnesota coach, as soon as he gets out of rehab, Dennis picked his ass up. Dennis went and picked his ass up. So I'm going to give you a shot. Chris Carter went on to be a Hall of Fame player. Second chance. Chris Carter would have been dead. He was a cokehead. Buddy and everybody in Philly knew it. Even some of the media people knew it. They didn't want to hear it. You know, again, it's about catching touchdowns. It's about catching touchdowns and really nothing else. At the end of the day, I get it. I mean, guys, hey, you want your superstars to be like, not human. But everybody's human. Either you believe in second chances or you don't. Ray Rice goes around. Like I said, it's a truly great, and it's a love story. He punched that woman right in the jaw and broke her jaw. And everyone saw it. The Ravens went 2 years later. You want to try to come back? No. I got to be a better husband and a better man. They've been together 25 years. 3 kids. And a family saved. That's a guy who was totally contrite in what his actions were. It's good shit, man. Dude, when you do something like that, you hit someone, you do something to a woman, you kill someone. Football is the least of the things that should be on your mind. Football could be a vehicle where you pay people back things. Football should never define you. How you are and how you treat others has to be how you're defined. I mean, you know why a lot of NFL guys don't have character? Because they're one person. They're just a football dude. Let me tell you something. After all these years, I look back on that stuff now, and I do this with it. It was really nice. It's so long ago now. My wife goes like this to me. Hey, did you play with face mask? And I'm like, that stuff was so long ago. I'm a different dude today. That shit's great. Did a lot of great things. So what? Honestly, so what? Okay? I'm proud, but whatever. I got a lot more ahead of me, I hope. Rehabilitation, man. I hope Henry Ruggs gets a chance. Maybe the Eagles give him a shot. Why not? Here, $5. Do the offering plate. You're preaching today. In fact, say don't judge people on things I did as well. We all grew up differently. Hey, Prince. Right. Bro, I'm not talking about your path in life or my path in life. As long as we get to the place we want in the end, it counts the most. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no roadmap to success in life. Everyone thinks that, you paved this golden lane out or this yellow brick road out. You don't. And one thing I do, Prince, I will agree with, and I appreciate it. Prince, I'll say this to you, bro. I hate fucking people preaching. And if I come off as it, I apologize. Because I do not want to be that guy. I don't tell anybody how to live their life. How to vote, vaccinate. I don't do any of that. It's none of my business. I don't judge people like that. I told you guys a story before. I used to tell my wife this. We had this lady at our work named Diane Smith when I worked at iHeart. Everyone in the building fucking hated her. And everybody I worked with, hey, you go down there, Diane sucks, I find out her kid's going to play for Pat Summitt at Tennessee. I sit down and talk with her for 5 minutes. She's like, you're the only person in the last 15 years that's ever spent time with me more than 5 minutes instead of just working on their check. Well, I said, Diane, I heard you were an asshole. Everyone said it to me, but I like you a lot. And she's like, you know what? And we became great friends. I don't judge others by what others think of you or say about you. That's so ridiculous. You know how many, you guys know Jason Cole, right? Jason Cole comes on my program. Jason completely doesn't believe in anything I believe in politically, but I don't judge him over that, and you don't judge me. If you're judging people over politics and religion, you're a fucking idiot. You judge them on the content of their character, what kind of relationship you have in life. Are they good people or not? I mean, I don't look at people like that. I never have. If you want to believe in a different religion or you want to believe in a different political ideology, fine. That's why I started it out here with this Henry Ruggs. You either believe in rehabilitation or you should just take that man out and shoot him in the head. No other way around it. I happen to believe in rehabilitation. Hit the like button, guys. Was Ray Rice's girlfriend held accountable for her part in it? She assaulted him first. Penn, are you crazy? My wife could hit me in the head with a fucking shovel, and I wouldn't hit her back. Are you crazy? I'm an NFL player. My wife could hit me in the head 700 times. I would never raise my hand. Because if I raise my hand, it's catastrophic. That's a stupid way. I appreciate the super, but Penn, me raising my hand to a 120-pound woman when I'm 380 pounds is ridiculous. Are you crazy? Not happening. I would never do that. I've never raised my hand to a woman. I have never, in my entire life, I've never spanked my kid. I've never hit my wife. How many of you could say that? I don't do that shit. You have to stand for something in life, or you'll fall for every gosh dang thing there is. Not me. Makes me sick when I hear people go, Henry Ruggs shouldn't get a chance to get his life back on track. Come on now, man. Yeah, somebody's in here going, women killed too. Well, if I get killed because my wife shot me, that's her. That's not me. I'm not that guy. Now, I tell you what I will be and what I'm not anymore, but I used to be. I'll tell you what. If you're in the room with me back in the day, one dude's walking out. Guess who that was? Okay? I mean, I'm not that guy. It's taken me 35 years not to be that guy anymore. I mean, my daughter laughs at me now. In a good way. Because I'm not intimidating like that anymore. I used to be one of the most intimidating guys on the planet. I'm not that dude anymore. I'm proud of that. Who wants to be that guy? Right? All right. I got a ton of fun topics today. All right. I have got my all-century Eagle team. The best organizations in the NFL since 2000. Man, I got a shitload of stuff. Quarterbacks that the Eagles are going to be facing ranked this year on the schedule. A little bit on Vic Fangio. Toughest camp battles. And what are the Eagles going to do with all of those draft picks that they have in 2026? What area are they going to go? What position are they going to look at? We will do that throughout the day here. So I want to start it out with this one here. I want to start it out because I got this from the morning show. Since 2000, where do you guys think you rank as an organization? Where do you think you rank? I've got my top 10. I've got my top 10 teams that have been the best organization since 2000. Since 2000. How many? And I will get to the Alexander signing in Baltimore. I promise. 3. Okay. Here are the Big Sil's top 10 NFL programs since 2000. You know, a lot of you have recency bias now. Now, if you want to say in the last 10 years, you're still not number one. If you want to say in the last 15 years or 20 years, 25 years, you're nowhere near number one. So where do you think you are? All right. Number 10. I've got the Denver Broncos. 217 wins, 1 Super Bowl, new changing of ownership from the Bolins to this current group. They do a pretty good job in Denver, and they've been pretty consistent as an organization on being a winning team. So I would put Denver at number 10. Number 9, believe it or not, with 238 wins because of Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning, the Indianapolis Colts are in that conversation. They got a Super Bowl win. I believe they've been to the game twice. And they've got 238 wins in the 21st century here. Since 2000. Number 8, this was a tough one for me. The Dallas Cowboys. Believe it or not, they're the only team in my top 10 without a Super Bowl. The Cowboys have won just as many games as the Broncos, 217 wins. Problem is, obviously, their postseason, they have not won a Super Bowl. By the way, these are the top 10 winningest programs since 2000. Number 7, the Seahawks, 229 victories. 1 Super Bowl win. I believe there's a Super Bowl loss in there too. The Malcolm Butler. So you got 1 Super Bowl win, 229. I got them at 7. Number 6. See, this is where people, since 2000, this is where the conversation has some context to it. The Kansas City Chiefs, they've got 3 Super Bowl wins, 232 wins since 2000. Prior to Mahomes showing up, they were just a team. Number 5, the Green Bay Packers. One of the winningest teams since 2000, 251 wins and 1 Super Bowl victory. They do a lot of winning in Green Bay, and they're consistent at winning. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You validate. Here, let me ask you this. The only way you validate winning is winning it. So if I won a ton of regular season games and I didn't put 1 Super Bowl in it, do you validate what you've done? No. I got the Packers at 5. Number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles. 242 wins and 2 Super Bowls since 2000. Number 3, 255 wins. Steelers have 1 title. Baltimore Ravens. 251 wins and 2 Super Bowls since 2000. Number 1, Patriots, 270 victories, and 6 Super Bowls since 2000. There's those 10 teams and 10 organizations are the best football programs in the NFL. Length of winning, changing rosters over, changing quarterbacks over, changing coaches over. Get this. He's right. But they're nowhere to be seen with consistent winning. They do. But they're not in the room every year. The Giants haven't been a factor for 10 years. Look at the Giants' record the last 12, 13 years. They've done nothing. They've got 2 Super Bowls and almost a losing record since 2000. Here, let's take a look at that. The Giants and what the Giants have done. The Giants are not a consistent program. Between Dave Gettleman and Joe Schoen, I mean, they've been absolutely atrocious. Here's the Giants. Look at the last couple of years of the Giants. 3-14, 6-11, 9-7, 4-13, 6-10, 4-12, 5-11, 3-13, 11-5, 6-10, 6-10, 7 I mean, where in the world, outside of 5 years, in the last 25 years, has the New York Giants been a good team? You could make the argument, if you added it up, I bet you the New York Giants have a losing record in the last 25 years. You got 2 rings. I get it. Does that mean you're a good organization? Would anybody say that since 2000, the New York Giants have been a good organization? I would not. I mean, the Buffalo Bills, think of this. Okay, the last couple of years, the Bills have been doing it right because they got the quarterback right. But you know what? The quarterback is not enough in Buffalo. You know, the only thing, what do you guys think the only thing that's different in Buffalo prior to Josh Allen showing up? It's the same shitty roster. Here, look at this. Since Josh Allen showed up, okay, what's changed? Nothing. Nothing has changed. It's the same shitty roster. Here, look at this. I mean, yeah, you got Allen, but you're still drafting the same turds that you did prior to Josh Allen showing up. Here. So here's 24. Okay. So here's the year before Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen, what year was he drafted? Guys, what year was Josh Allen drafted? Can you tell me? Giants are shitty organizations. The Giants are a definition of better to be lucky than good. Absolutely. Eli Manning was never consistent in his career. Okay, so Josh Allen showed up in 2018. Okay. 2018, first year they were 6-10, and after that, they went 10-6, 3-13, 11-6, 13-3, 11-6, and 13-4. Prior to Allen showing up, 7-9, 8-8, 9-7, 6-10, 6-10, 6-10, 4-12, 6-10, 7-9, 7-9, 7-9, 5-11, 6-10, 3-13. What has changed? Nothing except the quarterback. You understand what I'm saying? They haven't improved the roster. They haven't made that team better. Josh Allen's made that fucking team better. As long as I can remember, the Bills have been dog shit before Allen showed up. Right. And then when you had Bill Polian and you had the Jim Kelly era, they did a nice job at building that team with Marv Levy. Then after that, you had a canyon of shitty football. They have never been a consistent team. I mean, think of that. I mean, Josh Allen is the only reason that they're decent. But have they improved the team around them? No. Look at Cincinnati. So Cincinnati's better because of Joe Burrow, right? They're still the shitty franchise. You take Burrow off that team, they win 5 games. You take Jalen Hurts off the Eagles, they win 10 games. I'm not saying you win a Super Bowl without Hurts. I'm saying, but that team, they know what they're doing in Philly and building a roster. Here's Jerry Jones. By the way, the older Jerry Jones gets, the more he looks like Skeletor. I'm telling you, man. Here's something else. Here's something for everyone. When you turn over 65, getting facelifts, you need to not do that, or you'll start looking like Mickey York right now. I mean, that poor guy. Holy cow, man! That thing looks like a wallet. His face. That guy looks terrible. Dude, remember, chicks use Botox. Dudes don't. Okay? Botox is for women, not men. Well, here I got to get some Botox and I got to get a facelift. Yeah, that's not something I'm doing. You know, somebody asked me the other day, I color my hair. If I color my hair, I'll be in my box. Okay? Hey, Sileo got his hair dyed. Yeah, he's dead. That's right. That'd be the only way I get my hair dyed, because someone did it without me wanting them to do it. Dye my hair. Yeah. That's not happening. Jerry Jones, poor dude. Every year he looks different. You know the guy in Poltergeist that shows up at the front door? He's looking for that little girl. That's what Jerry Jones looks like. Guy knocks on the door. Is she home? The guy out of the graveyard. Guy looks like a scene out of Poltergeist. Anyway, Cowboys haven't been a good franchise. I mean, hey, and you know what? Hey, and let me tell you something, Reyes. You got a face only your mama would love. Yeah, I've seen you before, kid. Not good. Hit the like button. Don't forget Bill Goldberg, the 5-time WWE champion, will be with us. That'll be at 3:30. I can't wait to talk. You know, I told you how I met this guy. Now, I don't want to go too deep into it because I think he's still married to the same woman. So my wife went up with me. She went to Montreal. We played. And Bill was on that Sacramento Surge team. And so he knocks on my door. He wasn't a wrestler then. He goes, "You Dan Sileo?" I go, "Oh, God." I thought maybe something I had done in the past to somebody's chick. I don't know. I didn't even know who he was. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm Bill Goldberg." I go, "Okay." So we go out. We go to a bunch of bars. We go drinking and shit. Had a fun time. I'm not sure if my wife was there with him. She may have been. But, yeah, Bill played on that Surge team. And then I believe he played with the Rams a little bit. And I met him at this place called the Power Factory. Ole Anderson, they flew me up to WCW. This was in the CNN Center. Ted Turner's in the building. Ted Turner owned WCW. And when you walked in, you saw Ted Turner in the building. This guy started CNN. He owned the Braves. And so I walk in, a guy by the name of Cowboy Bob Orton. And there's Goldberg again. So Cowboy Bob Orton goes, "Hey, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go down to Power Factory?" They were paying me like $1,200 a week to train. It's true. I was a WCW wrestler. So they put me in there. I was in there for, I would go up I think this went on for about a month. Then they sent me to Otto Watts in Europe. Well, she was my girlfriend then. She came out later on. And we were out there. I think she came when we were in Vienna. And so, yeah, so I wrestled for WCW and all overseas for CWA. Sure enough, Bill's over there too. I'll tell you this. I'm going to say this, and I'll say it when Bill comes on. I have never in my life seen more drug use. I have never in my life seen more pain than when I wrestled. You guys may think there's a beginning and an end, but that shit in the middle, folks, that ain't fake. That is not fake. There is nothing fake about it. I have never been more beat up in my life than when I wrestled professionally. I mean, I think it finished me off. Did more damage to me than what I did when I played football. That shit is just, I'm telling you, the ropes, the mat, that mat ain't what you think it is. You know, I used to think that mat, when I watched it on TV, okay, when I watched it on TV, I used to think, hey, man, those mats got to be, look at that. Hell no. Hell no, man. I have never been more hurt in my life than when I was in a wrestling ring. That shit is rough. And I did that with 290-pound, 350-pound guys. We had a guy by the name of, you guys know Big Van Vader? Vader played for the Rams. He was 468 pounds. And he did this thing called the power bomb. But I'll tell you what, you couldn't find a guy who was more lighter on his feet than this guy. I love Leon. God rest his soul, he passed away. But that guy could wrestle. And then I met my friend Hawk from Road Warriors. Mike was a great guy too. Passed away. These guys pass away, man, because the strain you put on your body and the drugs you take. It's not what you think it is. There's a ton of drug. It's really to make your body feel better. Okay, more like the guy from Star Wars. Oh yeah, yeah. He's more like that guy. Sills won't dye his hair because anything that sounds like diet gives him PTSD. Couldn't resist, Sills. Prince, all good, man. Prince is the only guy that talks shit and gets away with it. You know, well, all of you do. Vader's a legend. Oh, absolutely. Dude, I had so many friends that wrote. By the way, if you go on my Twitter page at Dan Sileo Show, Animal was a dear friend of mine. You know how those guys got their gimmick, Road Warriors? Ole Anderson was my boss at WCW. Okay? These guys were colossal bums. Road Warriors were not very good. And these two guys wrestled at the University of Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota or Wisconsin. They're from up there. They could not get it. Nobody was watching them. It wasn't going anywhere. So Ole Anderson had a pair of shoulder pads from Georgia Bulldog. If you notice the colors are Georgia Bulldog colors because they put Georgia Bulldog shoulder pads on them. So he puts these shoulder pads on them. That's how the Road Warriors were born. Yep. They put the shoulder pads, then they put the spikes on them. And they're probably the greatest tag team partners of all time. I mean, it's just the greatest tag team gimmick of all time. Then they came up with this. My wife and I used to get these mailed to us every year from the Road Warriors. These things called Zubas. They founded these like sweatpants. They were called Zubas. And they were just dyeing them NFL colors. And we would get them in the mail every year, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Like Cincinnati Bengal ones and like Bills and all Buccaneer shit. They sold it. I forget who they sold it to, but they sold it for like $72 million. Yeah, they sold that whole Zub. You guys probably don't, because this was way in the past, those Zubas. It's crazy. Crazy, man. So Bill and I go back a long way. I look forward to talking to him. Again, that'll be at 3:30. All right. So those are my best. Those are the best organizations. Now, look, over the last 10 years, you can make the argument it's Chiefs and the Eagles for sure. But you got to remember, most fans have recency bias. You guys think the Patriots suck. I don't. I don't, because the amount of winning they had. I'm going to give you one more stat one more time about Brady. Brady was in New England 19 years. He went to 10 Super Bowls. Every other year, that guy was in the Super Bowl in his time in New England. Every other year. You know how insane that is? When you have a 25-year run, by the way, are the Eagles on the cusp of doing that? Xander asked the question what a dynasty is. Well, I showed you that the Giants winning 2 Super Bowls. That doesn't cut it because they don't have enough winning. What the Eagles have is winning and the beginning of one. You've done great things, but are you a dynasty? No. The Chiefs are a dynasty. They're still in one. I think they're going to have a downtime, but they've been to 3 straight, and they've won 2. You know the last team to do that? The Dolphins. The Dolphins of the 70s and the Patriots, I believe, are the last team to do that. So when you talk dynasty, your championships are too spread out. 17 and 24. 7 years ain't awful. And you got another appearance in 22. That's nice stuff. Nobody's saying it's not. But for me, I think it starts with, like, I always get asked, do you think the Cowboy team was a dynasty? Well, see, I think you have long dynasties and short dynasties. The Patriots are the Patriots are in the room with, like, the Celtics. And that Celtics dynasty. The Cowboys in that 5-year run, that's a shorter dynasty. That's like when the Broncos went back to back. That's kind of like that. So there's short dynasties and there's long ones. Obviously, the long ones are the more historic ones. In bar fight, who's your wingman? Rude, Vader, or Hawk? I'm going to take Vader. I'm going to take Leon. No, Leon. Rude, hey, Rick could fight. All these guys are dead too, all 3 of these dudes. Rude, Vader, and Hawk, they're all dead. Crazy. I didn't know all 3 of them. Yeah, it's crazy. Those are really great wrestlers too, and great showmen. Fantastic showman, actually. No, he could, man. I've seen him. Hey, King, I've seen him do that. I know, I've seen it. Goldberg and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hey, let me tell you. I mean, a lot of people, you know, the way Goldberg works, he's a very physical guy. He is. Seals, you have the Eagles at 4, but with 4 Super Bowl appearances, 2-2 since 2000 is better than Pittsburgh. Yeah, but I get it. I'm talking about being a consistent winner and winning more games. Steelers have 255 wins and 1 Super Bowl and 1 loss, I believe. And the Eagles are 2. They're not. Again, I think you could look at those top 4 teams, and outside of New England, I think you can move them around anyway. The only thing I separated them by was the wins and being consistent every year and having a championship to validate all those wins. I never met the Von Erichs. No, I didn't. I don't believe I did. I don't believe I met the Von Erichs. Those guys worked more in the Dallas area. They weren't East Coast guys. And I don't believe they were WCW. I think they were more in the Mideast with Gagne and them guys. Eagles golden era, 4 Super Bowls with this era. We shall see. Thank you for the super. Leon. Lamar had no excuses now, Sills. Elite with Jahir. All right, let's do that before I get over By the way, I have my all-Eagle century team. Okay? I'm going to do that in a minute here. So, Jair Alexander, let's take a look at this. Guys, hit the like button. Bill Goldberg's going to join us at 3:30. So let's go over here. Take a look at this Ravens team now. Let's take a look at them. See if they've added him already to the roster. Boy, I tell you, that AFC North has a shot to be exceptional. Oh, my God, they did add it already. So the deal's get this. So here's what you have. It's by far the best secondary in football. There's absolutely no disputing this. So you've got Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, Jair Alexander, and Marlon Humphrey. There's not a better secondary in football. Not a better secondary. Dander, I missed the super if we could throw it up here. There's not a better secondary. Animal passed 2 sales, yeah, on his honeymoon. Hey, eye shiny. Passed away on his honeymoon. They were away on their honeymoon. By the way, I voted for his kid for All-American. Played middle linebacker, that's right. He was good. James Laurinaitis, absolutely. He was a great player. I liked him. I voted for him like for the Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame. Great player. I knew the Road Warriors very well. Very well. I knew the Ultimate Warrior very well. I knew Undertaker exceptionally well. I do. We've had Jake the Snake, right, Xander? We've had Jake the Snake, have we not? Having one of those CTE moments, but I believe we had Jake the Snake on the show too. So we've had The Rock, and now we're scheduled to get Bill at 3:30, so I'm looking forward to that. No excuses. They got the defense. I agree. Look at his team. Baltimore is my team to win a Super Bowl. Lamar, Henry, Flowers, Bateman. I don't know what Hopkins has left. I love DeAndre Hopkins. Andrews. Ronnie Staley is a heck of a ball player. They've got, here, I'll say this to you. Their center's better than your center. Linderbaum's a better player. But they're both Pro Bowlers. So if you want to, whatever that's to you. Kyle Vinoy's on that team. Up in the linebacking core. That's a pretty damn good-looking group. My question is going to be, though, look at the second group. Do they have enough depth on that team? If they lose one of their main stars, can they withstand it? And I would say this, if we're concerned about the wear and tear on Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, how do you not, or I should say Barkley and Hurts, how do you not have concern on Lamar and Henry? Right? How do you not have concern on that? One's older. He's 30. What is he going to be? 31 years old, Derrick Henry? Right? I did too. I would have taken, how about this? I like the Jahad Campbell sign, but I would have taken Malachi Starks more. I wanted you guys to take him. That's the guy I wanted. I wanted the Eagles to draft him. I thought he would have been great back there in the secondary, putting him at safety. Can you imagine Malachi Starks? And if you bring over Cooper, those two guys as your safeties, okay? And they got Mike Green. Abe. Yeah, they got Mike Green too, and I got him in the 3rd round, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So that's good stuff, man. I mean, there is no excuses. There's absolutely no excuses for the Ravens not to go deep into the playoffs. You know what I would do if I'm Todd Monken with that Ravens team? I would take a page out of the Eagles, and I would say this. Don't you guys agree with me? If you had Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, would you not coach him the same way the Eagles coach Jalen Hurts? Well, wait a minute, Sills. You're going to take 4,100 passing yards away? What did he get you? What did the 41 touchdowns get him? Bounced? Don't you think you should run the ball more? And give Henry 400 carries? Why in the 4,100 yards and the 41 touchdowns didn't mean shit? Second in the MVP voting. I get it. He's a great player. But do you want to have a great season or do you want to win a Super Bowl? And don't you think if you're able to play and coach him like they do Hurts, okay? Get this. According to Sills, stats don't mean shit. This guy's a fucking idiot again. You get paid on your stats, asshole. What do you mean they don't mean anything? This guy keeps fighting that. Nobody in the top 10 quarterbacks, nobody has a 500 or more record in the postseason, and they're all paid north of $53 million. How are they paid? On their stats or accomplishments, as I call it. Jesus criminy. Where are you not getting that? Do you see this here? Nobody likes the way the Eagles play football. You mean like TV shit, senor? Flip-flop. Look at this guy. This same guy who flip-flopped on Carson Wentz. And he'll tell you he didn't. Guy's a liar. There's no such thing as flip-flopping in sports. Guy plays well, guy plays shitty. 1 year he's good, 1 year he's not. It's not flip-flopping. The player dictates that. You see what I'm saying here? Oh, an opinion is not set in stone based on what the player does. Like, I'm not going to sit here like Skip Bayless and tell you that LeBron James doesn't have the clutch gene. How stupid is that? Seals, you said Jordan Davis was a great pick. I did. I did at 22, not 13. Remember you guys had, I wanted the linebacker Floyd from Jacksonville, and I wanted the defensive back from the Ravens, Kyle Hamilton. That's what I want. I wanted you to draft Kyle Hamilton. Instead, you took Jordan Davis. Okay. I wanted you to take the corner from Kansas City. Okay. You imagine, that's right. You imagine this, Kyle, if they had listened to me, they would have drafted Q and McDuff and had Cooper, and their secondary would be better than Baltimore. Davis got the ring. You get this. So does that kid, Thomas Booker. Don't make him better than the guy in New York, Dexter Lawrence. Davis got a ring, and he's the lesser player. Because you have a ring doesn't validate your career unless you're a quarterback. So you think if a guy's on a football team like Vince Wilfork, who has 3 rings, say he's got 3 rings, okay? And that you think he's a better player than Reggie White because Reggie's got 1? You can't be any dumber. Sills, We say it all the time. Secondary wins Super Bowls. It's one of the reasons why the Raiders have not been good since the 70s. They've never really had a great secondary. He's a fat body. His D coordinator called him fat. How come your boy's not in shape? I don't know. I'm going to pass on that. Too many chili cheese dogs down there at the shore. Too many, what is that? Saltwater taffy. Hey, that's just in, fatty. Hey, Donut Davis, stop with the saltwater taffy on the boardwalk. That might help you out a little. Yeah. It's saltwater taffy. It might help you out. That might help you play 17 games. Yeah, here's the difference, douchebag. You ready? I'm 60 years old. Yeah, still fat at 60. Okay, you got me. Case closed. At least I'm not eating Butterfingers at 23. Yeah. Or like, how many Happy Meals do you think that guy can devour inside of 20 minutes, Jordan Davis? 50? Hey, what if 50? How many Happy Meals do you think Jordan Davis can devour? At least 50. Hey, look, July 4th is coming up. So I guess the hot dog eating guy's back, right? Joey Chiswick, whatever his name is. The guy who eats like 100 hot dogs. Hey, great. How many hot dogs do you think Jordan Davis? I mean, if you put Jordan Davis in a July 4th hot dog eating contest against Joey Chestnut, who would win? Let me think. Who's your money on? Joey Chestnut or Donut Davis when it comes to July 4th Nathan's hot dog eating contest? Who would win? I'm gonna have to get Philly Godfather on to get the odds on that one. Who's the money on? Who would the money be on? Joey Chestnut or Donut Davis on eating hot dogs at Nathan's on July 4th? Money's on Joey. We talked about Albert Hainsworth. Yeah, he was a good football player. Davis in a landslide. Yeah, do you have to eat the bread? Like, do you have to eat the bread on that shit? Carter gets 3 rings, yes. It's over and done with in the 80s. Thanks, Chip. I appreciate that. All right. So now I'm going to do something before we get Bill Goldberg on. That'll be at the bottom of the hour here. Looking forward to this, man. I can't wait to talk to him. He's back at also Monday Night Raw. He was there on Monday, believe it or not. So we're going to talk with him. We'll get him on here in a second. So I wrote down my all-century team. I wrote down the Philadelphia Eagles all-century team. Who do you think's my quarterback? Here it is. Who do you think's my quarterback on the all-century team for the Eagles? Here's Master Penis. You would win in a Josh Prescott ass-looking contest. Thanks a lot, Master Penis. Appreciate it. Who do you think I picked in the all-century team? I picked Jalen Hurts. He's on my all-century team. My running back, I took Shady McCoy. Barkley's had 1 year. That's not going to make him a better running back than Shady. Shady McCoy. is my all-century running back. Can't put Barkley there. I mean, you got to play at least one more. Do you know who Barkley is right now? He's Terrell Owens. He's had one phenomenal year with a ring, albeit. But Shady is the all-century running back. My receivers. I've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Deshaun Jackson from 2013. Those are my receivers on the Eagles all-century team. Tight end. I got Zach Ertz. Left tackle. I could have went Trey Thomas, but I went Jordan Mailata. Left guard, Dickerson. Kelsey at center. Brandon Brooks at right guard. And Lane at right tackle. My all-century team. Hurts, LaShawn McCoy, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, Jordan Mailata. That was a tough one over Trey Thomas. Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson. How could Barkley be with 1 year? Shady was a better player. Or, excuse me, Shady had a better career. Barkley hasn't had a Philly career yet. 1 year's not a career. Right? I'm not saying Barkley's not better. Shit, T.O.'s better than Deshaun. I'm not putting T.O. with 1 year over Deshaun Jackson. Right? Hey, let me ask you guys something. How do you think Shady would have ran with that old line this past year? He hasn't had a Philly career. 1 year's. You think that T.O. had a career? What do you think Shady McCoy would have done with that Eagle O-line? I know what Westbrook said on this program. Remember what Westbrook said? Give me that O-line. I'd like to have had. Brian Westbrook goes, I wish I had that O-line. Shady McCoy would have went for $2,000 too. I mean, guy might have taken you to a Super Bowl if you had that O-line. How about this? 2,500. He would have been just amazing. So here's my defense, my all-century team. Got Brandon Graham. I got Trent Cole as my edge rushers. My 2 D tackles, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox. My linebackers, I've got Zach Bond and Jordan Hicks. This is like since 2000. My corners, I got Slay and Patrick Robinson. My safeties, believe it or not, you're going to not like it. I've got CJ and Brian Dawkins. Cooper in the nickel. I wonder what McNabb would have done with our old line. McNabb, it's more about leadership. McNabb would have thrived. McNabb would have thrived with that offense. Let me ask you something. What do you think Carson Wentz would have done with the offense he has now? Carson Wentz threw for 4,000 yards with not one receiver over 500 yards. What would he have done with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert? 4,600 yards? 5,000 yards? This is funny right here. Bend my friend over. Probably. Wentz would have been Josh Allen? McNabb would have thrown an interception at the end of the game with a chance to win. Carson Wentz at his prime to Josh Allen. I actually thought Carson Wentz was more like Brett Favre. That's the shit I was saying. When I was talking about him, I mean, I was comparing him kind of like I thought he was a Brett Favre dude. The way he played like Favre. That game in LA that he played, where he had a knee injury, right? Guy has a knee injury, and he ends up finishing the game. He limps off the field. And this is after a guy threw a touchdown. So kind of in a way, would Sirianni been able to keep McNabb's ego? No way. See, Xander said something perfect the other day. Nick Sirianni's in the perfect storm, in the eye of the storm. To sit there and say that you could plug somebody else in, and anytime you've got something going, that's why coaches are so afraid to change the room if something's in a winning streak. You know, there used to be a line back in the day that a player couldn't lose his job. Okay? Like a player couldn't lose his job to injuries. That shit's out the window now. Nobody cares about that. Hey, dude, who's got the hot hand? I'm going with the hot hand. Okay? That's where I'm going. I'm going the dude with the hot hand. Okay? All right. Hit the like button. Couple minutes, we're going to catch up with our friend Bill Goldberg. Looking forward to that. 5-time WWE champion. How many places get Bill Goldberg? Or guys like Jake the Snake or The Rock? I mean, right? Got a couple more treats lined up for you, too. Over the next couple weeks heading into training camp. What do you think I was going to leave you hanging? That we weren't going to put those guys in the room? Look at flexing. Goldberg's old. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. He'll get 6 million people watching him wrestle for the championship. That's what I care about. How you doing? So I wrote down this. I got a list here. And I ranked the quarterbacks that Vic Fangio is going to have to go against with this new group. So as we look at it now, here's the secondary for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go back here. And let's take a look at this. By the way, it's not the same secondary as a year ago. So they're completely different dudes. You do not have the same skill set playing in the secondary. You've got Keely Ringo. You've got a rookie and Andrew Makuba. So you have a first-year starter and Keely Ringo and a first-year starter at free safety. Strong safety, you have Reed. And you have Q at the other corner. And in nickel, you have Cooper. Okay. There's your secondary. Keely Ringo, Andrew Makuba, Reed Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. How good do you think that group is before we go forward? Before we go forward here, how good is that group? Seals, the rule about not losing your job due to injury ended when Bill went with Brady. That's a great take, Bob. It's decent, okay? Decent. Good group. That's fire. First-year starters. That's fire. Makuba hasn't even put a fucking helmet on yet. Or wait, he has. He was in shorts, though. All right. That's fire. Incomplete. Okay. That's fire. Hit the like button, guys. Bill Goldberg coming on. All right. So I've ranked them. Obviously, a couple guys twice because you play them twice in the NFC East. So week 2, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City. And this is on the road with Keely Ringo, Fidel Castro, Andrew Makuba, Reed Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. How you feel about them going into that game with that secondary versus Mahomes? How many yards do you think Mahomes goes for in that game? 254. 3 TDs. We're set with Makuba, Keely Ringo. I got Mahomes going for 254 and 3 touchdowns versus that group. Second, week 17, Josh Allen in Buffalo. .336, 3 TDs. What? Shit, the last time he played, he had 500 yards. Well, you think it's going to get better? He had 500 yards. By the way, I'm not talking about winning the game. I'm just talking how you think this guy plays against that group. It's not about winning. I think he goes for about 336 and 3 touchdowns. He went for 500 yards the last time you played him. All right. Week 3, Matthew Stafford. You got this one at home. How do you think that group does against Matthew Stafford? Keely Ringo, Andrew Makuba. Devontae Adams, too. And Puka Nacua versus Keely Ringo and Andrew Makuba. You do have Q and Coop. And the greatness of Reed. I got Matthew Stafford 285 and 2 touchdowns in this one. Baker Mayfield on the road in Tampa. What do you see this one? Week 4. I got this one ranked 4th. How do you think this goes down? So far I got Mahomes 254, 3 TDs. I got Josh Allen in week 17, 336 and 3. And Matthew Stafford in week 3, 285 and 2. What about Mayfield? Till further notice, got an average secondary with 2 trash cans. I love Kyle. Kyle, you're so good now. Puka's fragile. What do you think Baker does? Let's see here. Baker Mayfield. Down in Tampa. .304 and 2 touchdowns. Threw for 4,500 yards and 41 TDs a year ago. He torched your asses a year ago. What would make you think versus a lesser group he's not going to do better? Well, wait a minute, Sue. Why would he be worse than he did a year ago? You got lesser players now, and they brought all 11 guys back. The Bucs have brought all 11 starters back. Why would he not play better? I mean, you didn't. They did. All 11 starters. I don't know this one. He may be back for that game. I do not believe the Bucs are going to start him. And they're going to start that kid, Emeka Buka, probably in the first couple weeks. And they may activate him for that game, senor. I don't know. Because they're not really in a position where they have to put him out there yet. Okay? And here's the problem. It's a good call. Josh Grizzard, he's never called a play. He's in the same boat you're in with your OC. He's been there a bit under Dave Canales and under Liam Cohn, but he's never called it. So I don't know. Okay? I really don't know. So that secondary requires that Vic gets all the pressure from the D-line, needs 7 guys in passing lanes. Front seven's got to play great this year to help that secondary as it gets a little better. And it will get better if you get pressure. And again, you don't have to have a ton of sacks. You just can't allow them. Again, I'm going to say one more time here. The most important thing that you have to have is you got to set the edge against the run. Okay? You just have to. Now, one thing I heard, and one thing I keep hearing John McMullen say, is that Vic is the best D coordinator in football right now. No, he's not. He had the best year. People get clouded by 1 year instead of one's resume. Steve Spagnuolo has been to 3 straight Super Bowls and won 4 of them. Okay, they got beat. But over the last 5 years, has there been a better coordinator in football than Spags? No. He's even got a Super Bowl win against you. I mean, how do you sit there and go, Vic's the best, when last year was the first year he's ever had a number 1 defense? Tell you this. Spags who? Spags is going to Hall of Fame. Vic Fangio's not. Vic Fangio's not an assistant Hall of Fame coach. Steve Spagnuolo is. Dick LeBeau is. Shit like that. Vic is better right now. No, he's not. Personnel will dictate that, not your scheme. Dave Wanstead said this perfectly, and Vic will tell you too. Players make the scheme go. The right players. So stupid. Look at that offense you guys have. Let me say this to you. The offense that the Philadelphia Eagles run is like a high school offense, but no one can stop it in the NFL. Why? Because you've got great players at it. It's the most predictable offense in football. throw left, throw right, nothing across the middle, pressure the quarterback, he runs right. Can you stop it? No. Simple. Nobody can stop it. Why is that? Well, because of the players. I mean, seriously, it's the players. It's not the scheme. You run no motion. The receiving routes are lame as ever, but nobody could stop those guys. AJ route on a slant is impossible. He doesn't drop the ball. He's impossible to get on the ground. He's just impossible. And then on top of that, you got Barkley and that old line. Forget it. It's over. Like, you guys need 2 or 3 punches to knock people out. In a game that other players are playing, they need 100 punches to knock somebody out. The Eagles can knock you out with either hand. 90% of the teams in the league can't knock you out, let alone knock you out with both hands. I mean, that is not a complex offense. YZ. 34.8% of the targets go to A.J. Brown. I don't know. How much more predictable can you be? What could Smitty get? What's his target number? 25? So what do you have? 60, 70% of the targets each game go to 2 guys? How complex is that? I mean, right? Hit the like button. We're going to catch up with our friend Bill Goldberg soon. I mean, right? Dude, that team beats the hell out of people because of one reason. Because of their old line, and they beat the shit out of people. That's what they do. All right. I could not wait for this, man. I am so happy that I reconnected with my boy here. We met one another up in Montreal years ago. Bill was playing for the Surge. I think he had been playing maybe after he played for the Rams, but he had a really great career at Georgia. And he went down the same path as The Rock. We've had The Rock on here. And The Rock told you too, because Rock tried to play in Canada. And then his dad helped him out and all this and that. And I got hired by Ole Anderson, WCW. And I went to this thing called like the Power Shack. Big Van Vader was there. All these guys. Then they sent me over to Europe, and I wrestled for Otto Watts, CWA. I had a Road Warrior Hawk out there. I'll tell you this, Bill, I don't know how he does it. So we're going to bring him up here in a second, but I'll tell you this. I wrestled in Vienna and in Europe for a year. I don't know what you folks think of wrestling, but it finished me off. It is. I can hear my wife laugh. It finished me off. It was the hardest thing I ever did in my life, and that includes two-a-days. So with all that being said, hey, man, I got a ton of questions for him here. He's going to get back in the ring here. People are bitching already at Bill. I mean, they always have. Let's bring him up here. Our friend Goldberg, he joins us now. Big Bill. How you doing, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, so great to see you again, man. How's the health?
Well, I can't tell you the truth, but I'm good, man. I'm good for a 58-year-old man. I'm not doing too bad. I'd put myself up against any other 58-year-old. That's for sure.
Still looking for it, huh?
Skinny, man. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. I mean, it's just tough. It's tough to train like you used to, and it's tough to, it's like going back to the NFL at 58 years old and trying to be, that big badass defensive lineman again. It's just, it's tough. So I'm not gonna bitch. I'm not gonna moan. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna give excuses. I'm just gonna fucking do it. I mean, that's all you gotta do. I mean,
well, Bill, let me ask you this. So I tell people this all the time. Somebody like yourself and somebody like a Michael Jordan, dude, your love for the game doesn't ever fade. It's the body that fades. You know what I mean? I mean, all that right now. So is it still your heart bringing you back for you to get back in the ring again?